Okay, so we are about to go on Rudland Rigg. It's a great green lane in the North Yorkshire Moors. It's very long. I would say the average speed is quite fast as well, depending on what you're comfortable with. A lot of folks might think it's a bit mundane and a bit safe, a bit boring, but here's the thing. This place is great to come to practice drills. So, turn the engine off. There's several sweeping fast corners where you can practice moving up the bike, changing body positions, you know, practicing those faster corners, digging the front tyre in. Some of those are loose, some of those are quite hard compact, so mixed terrain, but you know, you can just keep going back and forth on these corners practicing. And I think practicing is something that not a lot of folks do, but hugely beneficial. Also, there's 2 four-way junctions where you can also practice tighter corners. So some are kind of 90 degrees, some are closer to 45, but you know, you can practice your approaches, the braking, switching, changing the body position and weight in the outside peg, so on. There's also a couple of spots that have slightly steeper parts, loose and rocky, and they're great to practice clutch control. So you know, there's such as the IRC Tyre Guy, Nick Clare, it's Splat Academy or such. There's various YouTube channels for enduro training where they do similar things. You know, you're practicing such as holding the bike in position on a hill just using the clutch. You're practicing weight in the rear wheel, and using steady throttle to get yourself out of sticky situations rather than kind of, you know, ragging the rear wheel in desperation. So yeah, for just a normal day out it might be a slightly boring lane, but if like me you do take the opportunity to also do drills, it's a great place to come. You just got to know where to go. So let's get at it. It's a little bit of an uncomfortable sensation, I admit. Still able to take these jumps. Look at this feeling. Absolutely stunning. One thing I will say, okay, so here is a four-way junction I was talking about, and we can practice our corners. So let's practice going left. Oh wow. Okay, so I immediately noticed the difference in cornering grip on the front, having these Kenders, and coming from ADV tyres. Huge difference. Every ADV tyre I've tested that corner on just wants to give way. Let's do a skid. Well, we want to get fully around. And here we're going to test the turning radius, which is almost nothing. Yeah, might as well be driving in a straight line. Okay, so Brake Magazine has a video on this. So we approach, we pick the line. I'm picking the outer line here. We weight the suspension slightly with 2 brakes. We keep that brake on, weighting the suspension all the way around, then accelerate out. Press the brake, just fun, guys, right? Okay, let's do that one more time. The thing I struggle with most, and again it comes down to having massive feet and struggling with that rear brake, is effectively riding the brake to compress the suspension, get the timing of that right, and frankly I feel like I'm going slow in the corner, too slow, and the brakes are still on. So there's something in my skill set there to tweak. So let's approach in second, and we can carry second through. Right, start compressing the brakes a little bit, weight the right perch. Oh, gone wide again. But when we are in those tricky situations with the rear wheels just spinning and spinning, maybe you're starting to push the bike back and forth, and it's just not a good situation. You start to get out of breath, maybe tired. I'm so guilty of it. But like, this is really steep. This bike in first, steady throttle, chugging up, absolutely no issues, as slow as you like. Look at that, that is a steep hill, and it's just chugging up with a little clutch, and now no clutch, it's fine. Okay, so I might get disproven on this, but hey. Right, so this is put a little brake on. So this is quite steep, it doesn't come across on the video, but I think a situation again that some of us get into on steeper, looser, more technical sections is the rear wheel just isn't getting traction. We're just not able to progress forwards. One trick I've learned off YouTube is not only are we going to have a slight bit of clutch and a steady throttle, but we are going to weight the rear tyre, so effectively move all of our weight as far back as possible over that rear tyre, and go from there. Obviously once you're moving, move back up. That could not have been easier. Could not have been easier. If I was in the middle of the bike or stood up, hanging over, like on top of the bike without actually sitting on it, so the bike is de-weighted, that would have been a struggle. So yeah, I don't claim it's the perfect thing to do, I don't claim I do it in a perfect way, but for me it has already helped several times to get out of what would have been sticky situations. Okay, so let's get up this hill. So it's quite rocky, staying over the front. good.